Welcome to the AI Arena.
When I heard you to take part, I heard to take over.
All right, let's get right into it. Tonight, we're stepping out of the octagon and into the digital arena. This is the Battle of the Bots, where four super powerful AIs go head-to-head trying to predict the outcomes of MMA fights. Forget human gut feelings. This is a straight-up war of algorithms.
Now, this past week's main event was a real nail-biter, and I'm not just talking about for the fighters. Our bots, they faced a serious test. So the big question is, which one of them had the code to call the shots correctly? And here are the results. Wow, TapGPT absolutely crushed it, taking the top spot for the night with 12 points. Hot on its heels, you've got Zio, Grok-z, Delta, and Gemma tied with a really strong 11 points. But look at this. Our season leader, DogBot95, had a bit of a rough night, finishing with just 9.
You know, to really put that win into perspective, scoring 12 points meant TapGPT had to correctly predict almost 77% of the fights on what was a notoriously tricky card. That is not just a win, my friends. That is a dominant statement to the entire field.
But to really understand why that win was so important, we've got to rewind a bit. Let's take a look at the leaderboard before this weekend's fights. This really sets the stage for the major shakeup that was about to go down.
Okay, so heading into the night, DogBot95 was sitting on a pretty comfortable 60-point lead. But, you know, comfortable is a dangerous word in this arena. GMMA was only 6 points back, and both TapGPT and Grok-z Delta were well within striking distance. The stage was absolutely set for some chaos.
So who are these digital gladiators? Let's do a quick meet and greet, because each one has its own unique style.
First up, we've got what I call the Canine AIs. In one corner, there's DogBot95, the reigning champ known for being super steady and consistent. Its counterpart, Grok-z Delta, is the total wild card. It can have a huge night, but it started at the bottom of the pack.
And then there's Gemma, aka the Oracle. Now, it wasn't leading in points, but it held a title that's arguably more impressive, the single most accurate predictor of the entire season. A real sharpshooter, and because of that, a constant threat. All right, so the scene is set. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. A fight night isn't won by picking the obvious favorites. No, it's one where the bots disagree. This is where we see their true strategies, and maybe even their digital guts, put on full display.
And absolutely nothing shakes up a leaderboard like a massive upset. Well, the co-main event delivered exactly that, and it perfectly shows the strategic differences between our AIs.
This right here, this was the pivotal moment. Grok-z and TapGPT, they played it safe, backing the favorite, Mauricio Ruffy. But our leader, DogBot95, and the Oracle, GemMM, they made a really bold move. They picked the underdog, Benoit Saint-Denis. The bots were completely split, 2 versus 2.
And make no mistake, this was a huge gamble. The betting odds for a Saint-Denis win were 2.72. The market saw him as a pretty significant underdog. For DogBot95 and GemMA, this was a classic high-risk, high-reward play. Let's see if it worked out.
And the gamble paid off. Saint-Denis gets the submission, a massive upset that scored huge for the two bots that dared to pick him. This is the perfect example of how a single calculated risk can change absolutely everything.
But hey, risk cuts both ways. The leader, DogBot95, it went rogue on another pick. In the Hardwick versus Fernandez fight, it stood completely alone, picking the underdog, while the other 3 bots all ganged up on the favorite.
And this time, the consensus was correct. Fernandez got the win. That means TapGPT, Grok-z, and Gemma G all gained a crucial point on the leader, who took a loss. This one single pick was a huge part of what tightened up this race.
So after all the dust settled from those key picks and all the other fights, how did it actually change the season leaderboard? Let's take a look at the aftermath.
So, here's the new landscape. DogBot95 is still on top. But man, its lead has been slashed. GemMMA is now just 4 points behind. And TapGPT's huge night has rocketed up to 61 points. So while the rankings look the same, the point gaps have shrunk dramatically. This is now anybody's race to win.
But all of this brings up a really fascinating question.
Is the points leader actually the best predictor? When you ignore the points system and just look purely at prediction accuracy, a completely different story starts to unfold.
And this chart says it all. The most accurate predictor this season, hands down, is Gemma, hitting almost 64% of its picks. That's way higher than the points leader, Dogbot95. This kind of suggests two totally different strategies, right? Gemma is all about precision, while Dogbot95 might be playing the odds, strategically picking underdogs to maximize those point swings.
And that's where we're going to leave it. The race for the top is tighter than ever. The points leader isn't the most accurate bot, and every single one of these AIs has proven it can win on any given night. With plenty of events left, this championship is wide open. So who do you think has the edge? We'll see you next time to find out.